exact same watch right
And
now.
they're two of the same exact watch, which is so funny.
Yeah. Hey, welcome back.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Is this Epi 20?
This is Epi 20.
Epi 20.
I was wondering if you were going to realize it, but I was just typing it in on the
Oh,
software.
I'm aware.
Epi 20.
Normalize Talking About Watches. Boom.
Huge episode.
Big Epi.
Every episode's a big episode.
Every episode's a big episode, but there's a few things, like a few milestones that have happened in the past few weeks or so.
Yep.
Which are absolutely massive. First thing is we
No free
hit
plugs.
100 subscribers.
Which is hilarious to me.
Thank you.
What an awesome thing that 100 is such a small number, but also such a big number at the same
That rapper
time.
went nowhere.
Yeah. I was just trying to get it out of the frame.
Tried to throw it and it just like floats.
I was like, I'm going to get it in that little, I was going to try to get it in the little yellow bucket. But
got halfway there.
yeah, no, I was thinking about it too. Like 100 it's a small number, but it's a big number at the same time, which is what makes it cool. And I feel like all the YouTube people I watch and like podcasts I've listened to, people are always like, it's equally as exciting to get 10, then to get 100, then to get 1,000, and then to get 10,000, then 100,000, then a million. It's just like the same. They're just like little fun little markers.
You know, especially
a good one.
Especially when it's like an engaged audience and it's not like, you know, it's not just a bunch of random subscribers. I mean, at this point, it's not necessarily a bunch of random subscribers that we don't know, which is good and bad.
Yeah.
I mean, there's several, but it's like, you know, a lot of old friends and new friends that are kind of coming out of the woodworks just saying like, oh, I like what you guys are doing. Like, I like watches, which is cool. Like, it's helping us connect like within our community.
It's not like
you guys.
It's not like we went viral and got 10,000 subscribers.
Right.
And then those people just like saw one clip and they followed.
Exactly.
And now they're just like, I forget. I don't even know who he's like. I've done that. I follow people on
100%,
Instagram where I'm like, why the hell do I follow this page? And it's like,
exactly. Like Kylie
one
Jenner.
time they posted. One time they posted something and you followed them and you're like, oh, wow, it's a good follow. And then now you kind of just like, oh, I resonated with that thing, which I think is what's, to your point, cool about our small community is it's very niche. So if you follow us, you're probably not going to unfollow.
Yeah.
You know?
Or I mean, you're just engaged and that's what we want. Like
we're giving people what they want.
Trying to find is like the people that are actually interested that we can build further relationships with and connect with like on a deeper level. Like all of that's awesome. And I very much so appreciate everybody subscribing. I mean, I bet there's a lot of people that still watch and don't subscribe, which is
there definitely are. I checked the metrics.
Yeah,
it's like 82%.
Yeah. I mean, and I was that person for like so long, but it really does help us if you subscribe. So subscribe, like the show, share the show.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube, I guess they are there to help, but to your point, like I've been that person because if you watch a video, say you get in the YouTube rabbit hole, which we've all been in, if you watch Normalize Talking About Watches once, they'll suggest it the next time, and then you watch it again, but you're not subscribed. It's just showing up on your homepage. So subscribe.
Yeah, I mean, to that point,
makes a huge
there's
difference.
YouTubers that I like watching, right? And it's like, I know that I like watching them, and so I don't have to think about subscribing, just like playing devil's advocate here and understanding why you wouldn't subscribe. But like, I don't have to think about watching, blank YouTuber because I know whenever I get on YouTube, I can just type in Bert Kreischer stand up,
or it's gonna be there,
or
it's gonna be recommended,
right?
Yeah. So you just kind of get like, which props to them. They do such a good job that they can get the people that you want to watch in front of you without you even telling them. Yeah. But
I think it's the best social, or the best whatever it is. I guess
I think that their recommendations are cool. Like sometimes I get recommendations on Instagram and I'm like, I don't care about this. But then YouTube, it's typically
talk about getting down a rabbit hole.
Instagram's scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, that being said, 100 subscribers means we're giving away the book.
This book's going to one of you guys.
It's in the plastic.
Yeah.
It's brand spanking.
Brand spanking new. There's some really cool stories that we've gotten here. We're going to dig through it a little bit together probably this week at some point, and we'll make an announcement.
We're picking a winner this time.
Yeah, we're picking a winner this time, just based on some of the stories that have come in. there's not that many, so you have really good odds.
Yeah.
There's, I think, maybe a dozen or so people that send us in really cool stories.
But they're good, which is great.
They're really cool stories. And it's cool. Like, we get a dozen stories, like a dozen really cool watch stories, which I love hearing. It's something I've really started to enjoy hearing about, is just different family heirlooms, so you would call it, handed down watches, brand new watches, etc. So I appreciate everybody that entered into that, and looking forward to sending this off to a new home.
I just had this random thought.
Oh, I like random thoughts.
Let me just check on my phone before I announce this to the world.
Oh,
please hold. I'll talk and I'll walk and talk. But to your point, I do like hearing the story, and I think that's a cool.
Multitasking is a myth, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude.
Multitasking is a myth.
A man and his watch. I was looking to see if the Instagram existed. And some dingus has it. With one post from 2014.
We did start another Instagram page. It's called the Watch-a-Textural Review.
Disregard everything that Joe just said. I see where your head's at.
I like your mindset there. A man and his watch Instagram.
I was just thinking, like, we don't have to necessarily even. We could just take this. I agree.
Is a woman and her watch taken?
That's a good question.
Because that would be we'll appeal to the female audience here. No, we have
a woman and her watch. It is taken. But another zero post. No one's using it the way they should be.
Boo. Ooh.
I don't know how that goes. Like on Instagram, you have to like report them. I don't know. Like,
I have no idea.
What I was gonna say was, I do like that idea, and I would love for that to be like a more of a commonplace in our content.
Just send us stories. Like,
like if you send us a story,
send us one
and a photo, we can talk about it and share it. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I was trying to get at the point where it would be nice. Like, have you ever seen the People of New York?
Humans of New York. Yeah.
Humans of New York.
I got that coffee table book for my granddad. And
it's a cool idea.
Loves it.
It's just a cool little.
And I follow their Instagram.
Yeah, but like that with watches, but not necessarily us going up to random people, but more so just like engaging with people around us. Or hey, we ran into. I feel like you've been doing a good job of it. Remember how you said you were just like running into random people and asking to take a photo of their watch?
Yep.
And it seems ridiculous, but like also if you get a quick little story, it's like the Instagram with the dog guy.
Yeah.
What the fuck's that called?
I forget what it is.
The Doggist.
Yes. Yeah, he's like, hey, can I take a photo of your dog?
And he does such a good job of making it not weird.
Incredible pictures of dogs on all.
And he's like, what's your dog's name? What type of dog? What's the funny story about your dog? And explain their personality. And then he does a post, and he's killing it because
it's so good.
It is cool to just interact with random little stories. But yeah,
it's so good. You meet some really cool people. I do.
Yeah.
To the next point, I do. I have been. If I see a watch and I mean, I don't like go super out of my way, but if I'm standing in a line at a bathroom or something in there,
somewhere where you can have a conversation,
right,
where you're not
like a food truck or grabbing a coffee, and I see somebody's watch, I'm like, hey man, I really like that watch. Like,
you mind
if I take a picture of that? And that's like that's the icebreaker. And they're like, yeah, sure, that's fine. Then I'll ask them about it and like kind of get into the story, rather than saying like, hey, can you tell me about your watch? And then on the back end, can I take a picture of that? Just break the ice. Just be like, can I take a picture of your watch? Sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's cool. And then people, that breaks that barrier down of them now to the point, normalize talking about watches. Yep. I think it breaks the barrier down because like, oh, this guy's a watch guy.
Yeah.
I can now talk to him candidly without being a douche.
I do also like, I realized last dedouchetize trademark. Yeah. Normalize talking about watches at Nikki C at Joe.
That'll cover us for our legal.
Yeah, our legal team.
Like we have a date that says
our legal team will reach out to you.
Yeah. If you steal that before us.
Trademark. What was I going to say? Oh, last weekend I had friends in town, and I did realize because I guess like I do things like when you're thinking about something, you just like kind of blurt it out.
Yep.
I snipe watches like at a ridiculous level at this point.
It's fun.
We were riding around on your golf cart.
Yeah.
And I kept I didn't realize what I was doing, but like the guy sitting next to me, he's like, dude, I love that you keep sniping watches. I was like, what? And he was like, oh, I guess you're right.
Don't you wish you could just take a photo?
Panerai, Daytona. I was like, look at that date. Like,
I want to be able to just like with your eyes, snap an imaginary photo. Because I've done that before too, and I'm like, dude, there's such good content out there. You just got to get it. And the last thing I want to do is be that douche from, I forget, TikTok or Instagram. It's like runs up in people's faces and it's like, nice watch, man. What do you do for a living? It's like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
I hate that.
To play off of that though, it is always like whenever you see someone wearing like a super nice watch, it always is the first question that's in your head.
Yeah, but
what is that? Oh, it stopped.
I thought it was gonna be one of our car alarms because that sounded right there.
Right. Yeah.
Well, no, the difference is that person's going up there just to get content.
I know, yeah.
And go and get the attention. Exactly. Whereas I like to have the normal conversation, and as a byproduct of that conversation, hey, by the way,
and
I also have a podcast. Interested. Yeah, I would like to share this on this podcast that we have. So do you mind if I take a photo? It's just a different approach. And like the running up to someone with a phone in their face, you could tell that he's catching people off guard and they're just like, what the heck, dude?
Yeah.
And but I do think there's a classy way to do it.
Right.
Which is, to your point, chilling in a coffee shop line.
Absolutely. And just another thing, and not to spoil a surprise by any means, we are grinding to try to get some guests on the show that I think you guys are really going to love. That we found out we have, and I'm not going to go deep into this, but we found out we have like a very loose connection to some really, really cool people in the watch world and in the design world as a whole. And we're going to try to leverage those relationships and get some really cool guests on the show coming up for you guys. Yeah,
we're a couple phone calls away from important people.
I mean, it's cool. I mean, obviously we're important people.
Yeah.
But
we're important.
These people are like really close to as important as Nikki C.
Yeah. True. No, that being said, yes.
I mean, it's going to be really cool.
We've been chatting a lot about...
I'm manifesting that this is happening.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see why not. Might take some time, but we got that.
Yep.
The conversations we've been having around the fact of how small the community is of watches is pretty awesome. Like we just going another foreshadow to the topic of Joe's talking about now is the Rowing Blazers thing.
Yep.
And I know this isn't a huge deal, but like the Rowing Blazers Instagram reposted a tagged photo. You know, the guy who started Jack Carlson reposted and like liked the DM.
Yeah.
Yeah. This stuff is it's so minor and it's such a small gesture. But if you think about it, if I tag Jay-Z in an Instagram post, he's not reposting it. No. He's not going to see it. Like, and I get it. He's mega famous, but that's my point is that the watch world is so much smaller and so much more niche to the point where like there only are a few in the grand scheme of things, big players in the game that like, it's not that weird to have a small candid conversation with like Ben Clymer, you know, like it's such a cool little world and people are there's an equal interest. And it's a very like passion based industry. Yeah. Whereas like music, me and Jay-Z, I like music. Jay-Z likes music, but like he's a creator of music. I'm a listener of music. Whereas like in the watch world, like we're all enthusiasts about the watches, like, you know, so everyone's we have the same interest, which I think is pretty cool. So we've been engaging with some people that you would think in another industry, you wouldn't even be able to.
You wouldn't be able
get
to
the attention.
They're less attainable.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't be able to get.
They're further away.
Exactly. You just wouldn't be able to grab the attention of people that are at this level in another industry. Yeah. So,
100%.
That's cool and that's motivating.
Yeah, it is cool.
It allows us to be like, oh wow, we can actually, if we really put the time and effort in, we could chat with some of these people on the podcast, or we could have a conversation with them about being on the podcast.
Which I feel like is another thing that we should address. It is like we've been very busy the past couple weeks.
Yes.
Nick's moving houses.
Yes.
I'm traveling like a madman right now. I'll be gone all week next week as well. So we're doing the best we can. It's Saturday morning right now.
I'm going to try to get this out by tonight, maybe.
We're doing the best we can to try to keep the content coming. We promise we are not like, slacking by any means. We're just running out of time in reality. I mean, that's the reality.
Yeah.
We're quite literally just running out of time.
But We're getting them weekly.
We're doing it weekly.
It just might be a random.
It's just random days. It's not necessarily like.
I changed the Instagram bio. Did you see that?
I did.
Just to new episodes weekly.
Right.
Not every Friday.
We just can't like commit to a specific day.
Yeah.
We're kind of running out of time. I don't know. I just feel like we should address that.
Yeah. It's easier said than done to block off an hour. Because it's not an hour.
It's more than an hour.
It's 15 minutes before where we have to like regroup. well, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
15 minutes of driving to where we're going, and then 15 minutes of us chatting about whatever we're going to talk about. It takes a couple minutes to set up everything. Like, this isn't just a plug and play studio for the most part. Well, I guess some things are plug and play. But long story short, it's more than an hour of being blocked off, and then you got to edit it. So it's just, there's just some time involved.
Yeah.
And some days.
And
we can't find it.
We want to deliver on a high production quality too. So
Yeah.
it's like we want to make sure that everything's edited and there's graphics on the thing. If every time I put my hand up there, Nick kicks me. He's like, "Stop doing that."
Yeah, because we could. There's our competitors, let's call them, or our associate, or what would you call? I don't feel like other watch podcasts are competitors. They're just whatever. The other people doing watch podcasts. There's a way to do it where we could be shooting it right now and we could have it on YouTube in the next hour.
Right.
Like, I've seen watch podcasts where it's two guys on Zoom recording on their camera.
I don't
Zooms.
watch those.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's the thing. It's like Joe could be traveling. I could be at my house, and we could record an hour episode on Zoom and put it out on YouTube. And we could put out an episode every couple days probably at that point. But I want it to look nice. Sound nice. Yeah. So,
well, I have been having some really cool conversations with people that are our friends and that follow us, and like just hearing some of the things that they want to see.
Yep.
So like on that note, like just definitely send us in some stuff that you want to hear and want to see happen.
Yeah.
You want to see us talk about or want to hear us talk about.
Or if you have quirky watches, that's quirky fun
stuff.
topic.
Watches. Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
we can chat about it.
It's fun. So we love that. All right. So we have kind of a really cool thing going on. It's more than kind of. It's cool. First off, it's one of my friends. I got to say thank you. We connected a couple weeks ago. At this point, it was about a week and a half ago. And he was like, "Hey, I've got a surprise for." I don't know if he wants me to say his name or not.
Just keep it out for.
Yeah. And so you know who you are. And we connect, and he goes, "Hey, I've got a surprise for you and your co-host." I'm like, "All right, great. Like, let's go to this local bar."
We could shout out them though.
And so we go to Moe's Crosstown Tavern,
which is our absolute favorite place.
We shouldn't shout them out. It's not good.
Yeah,
don't go
actually,
there. The place is the chicken Caesar wrap there is not good at all.
It's not something you would get 4 or 5 days a week.
You would not get the chicken Caesar wrap from Moe's Crosstown Tavern 4 days a week.
Yeah,
you definitely wouldn't go there. For wings a couple times a week.
Terrible wings.
It's not like a really awesome, incredibly cool dive bar with great food.
Sport, if you want to watch sports.
Yeah, if you want to watch sports. That's just not the place to go.
No, they only put on the Food Network, I think, there. So, shout out Moe's.
Shout out Moe's. We love you. I love you. Nikki C loves you.
Yep.
So we roll up there, and we've been there for a second. He, I guess, got stuck trying to find some parking. And he rips out of his back pocket. He sits down, rips out of his back pocket, and puts this box on the table at a dive bar. This is awesome.
Not a joke, by the way. This happened.
It was cool. I was like, my jaw was like.
Because to Joe's point earlier, he just said he had a surprise to Joe. And then Joe relayed this message to me like, hey, he said he's bringing us a surprise. I'm like,
this is going to have to go up there.
Well,
they won't see this.
I'll get a photo because that's something that I would like to add to my collection.
100%. So he sits this down. Mm-hmm. And this is an extremely cool box.
In extremely good condition.
This is from...
We looked it up. It ended in the early 2000s.
Because both of these watches from the early 2000s.
And before that, this was the box from like the 80s. Remember? We found... Yeah. Like, because that's why I said I want to add it to my collection.
We had to do a full episode on boxes.
The boxes changed, and this is officially my favorite box.
Yeah, but like the boxes, even in this era.
Yes.
Remember?
Yeah, but there was that goofy one with like the weird color sleeve. Remember? Yeah, maybe we'll do an episode on, some packaging because like
Omega
deserves
like the date was like a different
bigger
box,
right?
Like the full gold was like one box, and then like this was another box. But I agree with you.
Yeah,
this is my favorite box. It's like
it's a usable box. Like you could travel. Instead of like Joe and I both have travel watch boxes that we bought. Shout out Deluxe. They're still awesome that we have those. But like this is what that box is. So it comes in this, and you can also use this. Like I haven't touched. I don't know about you, but I have not touched one of my Rolex boxes.
They sit in my safe.
Yeah. So it's like it's cool. The day you get it, awesome. It's a nice experience. It's a really nice, heavy duty, bigger than this box. But then you just like tuck it away and it just sits there. This I would use.
Yeah, and this is cool. So like it's got a nice leather on it. Again, we're gonna put some pictures up because you got to be able to see this. The top is like it's got like a little bit of foam maybe on the top.
Little pillow. It's like a little
pillow. A Rolex crown engraved there. Some nice stitching around the edge. On the bottom of it, you've got this cool print, but it's wooden, and you got a Rolex thing, and it's got a big pillow in there. So anyway, we sit down at this dive bar, and he plops this on the table, and inside are the two watches that Nikki C and I are wearing.
Yeah. So already we thought maybe, at least my thought, and we haven't really talked about this, which is good, but just another side note, Joe and I need to like stop talking to each other in between podcasts so that we don't have all of the conversations we're supposed to have on this.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll catch each other and be like, hey, we have a watch podcast, remember? Like maybe we should have this conversation there.
Remember?
But I think that my initial thought was like, oh, he's bringing us a cool vintage box to talk about because this was right after the episode where we talked about like the coffin and the thing that the Rolex comes in now, whatever they want to call it. So I thought he was just bringing us a box. Go ahead.
He opens it up and inside are the two watches that are on our wrists. Like we are wearing the exact same watch right now.
And they're two of the same exact watch, which is so funny.
Yeah. Same era.
Are they the same? They're not the same.
They are. So
okay,
I just looked it up. I just looked up and I was studying and like, looking into these. One of these is for sale if you're interested. Just DM us and we can put you in contact with the guy. Again, not sure if he wants his name on here or not. So out of respect for that, I'm going to not say it. But I feel like every time we say a name, we always bleep it out anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
So I've worn this watch now for a couple days. Nick has worn it for a couple hours.
I like it.
While you're fidgeting with it, I'm going to give you guys a little history on this thing because it is it's actually a really interesting history of just the Yachtmaster as a whole.
Teach us.
And then this specific watch model, which is potentially underrated. I think
so far, I'm on the team underrated.
Yeah. So the Yachtmaster was the most recent addition to the Rolex Sports Collection.
Okay.
It came out in 1992, and it was like the most recent addition. And when it was released in 1992, it was released in all gold only. Like only all gold.
Ballin'.
They didn't release it in steel until 99, which is
just really a swaggy move by Rolex
to release it in full gold only.
And just be like, hey, this is the only watch. That's kind of baller. I wonder how much it was. I want
to find the old ones, like the 92 to 99 models that are only in full gold.
I've seen the all gold Yachtmaster floating around on like Luxury Bazaar and like the watch websites, but I don't know if they were that old. I'd be interested to see what that one looks like because that sounds just like an awesome vintage watch too.
So from 1990, roughly, I think this is the correct years. I mean, obviously we're trying to get better at this, but we're not like close, total nerds.
We're gonna get close.
No offense to anybody that knows the full history, but like
we're not
working,
nerds like you guys.
Yeah, we're working on it. So 99, this comes out.
Yeah.
99 to 2007 is when this watch is released. And this is the reason that this is such a cool time period is because it was the only period that the dial and the bezel are platinum. And which is awesome. Or have platinum in them. And so you can actually tell by the way the dial looks. And so in 2007, the dial switched and it didn't have this grain to it. Like you see like the coarse grain.
Yeah, it looks.
And we're going to try to like probably get some.
I think I should be able to get that. I don't know.
I don't know if we can.
Maybe with video.
It almost looks like sand, or it looks like, have you ever seen like
sandblasted, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think it's sandblasted platinum.
Is it? Is that what it is? Okay.
I think that's what he was saying when he was telling us about it. I could be wrong there, but I think that's how you get that look of like.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like.
I believe that. Yeah, so like if you've ever seen the APs that have like the frosted gold, it kind of looks like that.
A million little mini holes that create like a little bit of a shimmer.
So this was, when you see this dial specifically, this like coarse grainy dial, you know that it was from 99 to 2007, and they actually called it the Rolesium.
Rolesium.
Boom. Rolesium's up there. Rolex called it the Rolesium.
Spell that.
Rolesium. Rolesium.
The spelling bee was yesterday or something.
Was it really?
The national spelling bee. You just sounded like a contestant.
Rolesium.
Yeah.
Spell the word.
Use it in a sentence, please.
The Yachtmaster was dubbed the Rolesium by Rolex.
There you go.
So this watch has a nickname. This is the Rolesium Yachtmaster, which is sick.
I love when watches have nicknames.
Yeah. So they continued to make this exact model. So obviously, when you see pictures of it, you'll notice that there's a similar model out now that has the blue accents to it, and it's got the slate dial or the rhodium dial. Apologies. The rhodium dial, which one of our friends has. It is one of my favorite watches by
far. Good looking watch.
That's the current model of this.
Mm-hmm. And you don't see them
that
ever.
watch has a platinum bezel.
Right.
That's it. This watch has a platinum bezel and a platinum dial. This watch was also made purely with a platinum bezel after 2007 until it was discontinued. So this is the, if you're a reference number person, this is the 16622, which is the super cool, undervalued one, the Rolesium, where you've got platinum in the bezel and you've got platinum in the dial. And then like the 1116 or whatever it is, like if there's like an extra one on it, like so 116622 is the one that has just the platinum dial.
I don't reference number.
Yeah, or sorry, just the platinum bezel. He says I don't reference that.
I think, and you know what, I'm interested to piggyback off that. I wonder when the links became solid, because these are hollow. So right now the watch has a good weight. Hollow? I think so. That sounds hollow.
I don't know. That's something we should look up. I'm very interested. Or
I think these are hollow because these sound hollow. But what I'm wondering is this watch is heavy.
Yeah.
Because there's so much platinum in it, and then they may have swapped it to non-hollow, solid links, and then got rid of some platinum, and it probably weighs and feels the same, but the weight isn't as valuable, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like this weight, you're feeling the weight of platinum. I think.
Yeah, I think so too. No,
I'm guessing. I don't know. These links feel hollow.
It feels heavy, but it doesn't feel too heavy.
No, and like the new, a platinum watch is
very
heavy.
Yeah.
We've worn them platinum and tried them on. Like it is, it's not a joke. Like it's not, they are heavy watches.
Yeah.
Almost to the point where you put it on and you're like, it's a little weird that that's that heavy on my wrist.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I wonder if they converted at the same time to hollow links. I don't know. To get the same weight.
Very well could have.
I don't know. That would be an interesting thought to see if they got rid of the platinum, which for whatever reason, it's expensive. It's obviously, it adds quite a luxurious feature to a watch if there's platinum involved.
I love the Rolesium, the one we're wearing, with this coarse grain. Yep. But I really do love the rhodium dial as well. The modern day rhodium dial, I think it's beautiful.
I like the blue on the rhodium dial.
Yeah, the blue's sweet. So this one has red accents and the other one, but Yachtmaster in general, I didn't know it had this really cool history.
No, I always thought,
and it's all that two-tone's always been my favorite. There's the rose gold. So there's a rose gold on oyster flex.
It's like a root beer kind of vibe.
It is. It's so sick. It's a 40 millimeter rose gold with like a black dial that's like matted.
That is a cool watch.
It's beautiful. And then they came out with the new 42 one that's got the falcon eye dial. So I feel like Yachtmasters just like always get overlooked.
It's just a sneaky, it's a unique watch. Because, like, all right, so I don't know the price point of the new one. I want to say it's like 12 or 14. The new rhodium.
16.
16?
Yeah.
So, I mean, just to think about it from that perspective, if you're looking at it side by side with other watches, obviously I try to live by the don't look at the price, deciding whether you like a watch or not. Like, look, if you like the watch, then determine that you can either afford it or not after you find the price. But don't look at the price and be like, oh, $20,000 watch, I want it. There's a lot of people that buy like that. Fuck them. Kind of.
Can we run that back?
Yeah.
I love that.
There's a lot of people that buy like that.
Yes.
You know,
100%.
like going through a website, it's like, I want to say I have a $20,000 watch. And like, hey, dumb. Little do you know, you're probably buying it pre-owned, and it's probably a $10,000 watch.
Yeah.
But you're paying 20 because...
And it's just like, you have no story. I don't know.
I could rant about that, but long story short, the reason I say that is because I'd be interested to see like what deters people from buying the Yachtmaster, because I don't see them ever. The new rhodium dial. Yeah. Like the person that we know that has one is the first one I've seen.
Yeah.
On anyone.
I wanted it for a long time.
Yeah, I remember you liked it early and often.
I wanted it, but it was, I don't know, I liked the Batgirl more.
Yeah. Well, that's where I was kind of going with my story. Put the price aside, right? And just take this looks wise. What would you compare the Yachtmaster line to? And it's like, they got the Oyster Flex. So you'd go either Oyster Flex Yachtmaster, or you're going to go Oyster Flex Daytona. And then like you get to this level of, what do we call this, like a sports watch, you know? Mm-hmm. And it's like, so that includes the GMTs, the subs, all that stuff. I don't know that people are picking this over them, because like the back row is a better looking watch in my opinion. But
so it's interesting you say that, because the GMTs, they have a lot of similarity to subs.
Yeah, a ton.
It's
the same watch to a lot of people.
This does not.
No. It's
so
its
this
own,
has
it's
more original design elements. It's like a softer look. You know, like it's more like the GMTs and the subs look more rigid to me, more sharper edges, I think.
Yeah, this is kind of like this is a smooth.
It's more muted.
It's also thin.
Yeah, it's muted. I mean, these things wear incredibly good.
Yeah.
It's more muted to me.
There's no color other than the little accent.
Well, yeah, this is, the color-wise for sure. But, like, I mean, I'm just on the wrist, like, it's not as sharp of edges. It's more rounded. It's almost Daytona-esque.
Yeah.
Of, like, with the way it wears on the wrist and looks on the wrist. So I think, there's a place for that, right? I mean, it's like it's something that is original on the wrist. It definitely doesn't pop as much as a sub or a GMT.
It's kind of cool that it's all... Like, now I'm looking at it. It's
just,
all one color.
It continues to grow on you.
Yeah, really it's all one color, which is unique. You know, like, it's just... Where else...
These things are sick.
Name me another watch. You know what it's not... This is why this thought came up when you said Daytona. It's like those older stainless Daytonas.
That are just all stainless.
Like, the bezel's stainless.
And they're so sick.
The sub-dials are stainless. Look, whatever the color is. Yeah, and they're kind of like... when you see it up close, but from a distance, you're like, it just looks like the person's wearing like a full metal watch.
Yeah.
Which is what this is.
Ben's dad has one of those.
Yeah.
They're
which
so
is
sick.
Beautiful watch.
I think you saw it.
Yep.
In person.
But yeah, I mean, that's what it's different. Like, we're used to having colored bezels or like fluted bezels. So there's some kind of character in it. Whereas this is just like, you'll see in the photos, like very subtle design features, but extremely practical.
I mean, color-wise, it's muted, but like wear-wise and design-wise, it's like muted too. It's just not very loud.
No.
And I really like it for that. It's got polished center links, so it's, there's something different about it.
Yep.
Which is neat. The polished center links are not platinum or are not white gold. Just if you thought that, you'd just be stupid.
Yeah, that would just be such a bad thought to have.
Just in case you didn't see, I was
Joe
making fun of myself, not anyone else.
Joe
just myself.
It's cool, man.
It's a cool watch. It's incredible that my buddy was like, "Hey, yeah, you guys wear it for a second.
And we could both wear
it. Show.
Imagine this for every watch too. Like, we both get to test drive the same watch.
I love this.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's so funny.
If anyone out there that's watching this, if you want to offer this up to us, we will gladly do this exact same thing. Dive into the history of the watch,
and then return it to you safe and sound.
Return it to you safe and sound. So,
which is fun. We've had some people offer, but like this is the first one that's actually like come to life.
It's
like
the first one that's come to fruition.
Matt gave us a couple.
Matt's given us.
I won't say his last
you're right.
name, but he's given us a couple.
Absolutely. And Matt probably will continue to give us some really cool ones. He's got an incredible collection and access to a lot of really cool watches.
And then I guess the other Matt.
Yeah, you're right.
Gave us some watches.
This is not the first time this has happened necessarily.
Yeah. But I think this is the first time where we've kept them for a long time too.
This is the first time that we've ever met at a dive bar.
Yes.
And had
someone deliver us $20,000
$2 beers with $20,000 of watches sitting on the table.
Don't quote us on the number. We don't know how much they are. But if you do want to buy it, one of these is for sale.
That's a fact, yeah. Yeah, don't quote us on the number.
Yeah, I have no idea.
We're just throwing shit out there. Ooh.
But yeah, it was just funny that the place we were in, like if you guys could picture it, it was not the environment where two Rolexes should be on the table.
It was really funny. Yeah.
But it's awesome.
And hopefully one day we'll get him on the show.
Yeah.
He's a very interesting guy. He loves watches.
Yeah, he's got a cool collection.
He's got a cool collection, and he's got a really, really interesting business here in the Charleston area and other markets. So,
shout out for the Yacht Masters.
Yeah, thank you, brother. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Anything else?
No, we're gonna
give away the book.
We're giving away this book
in the next few days or something. We'll figure it out. We have the stories. We just have to go through them.
Correct.
This box is awesome. To recap,
yeah,
I'm gonna try to get one for my day date.
We're gonna give you your watches back, but we're gonna keep the box.
Yeah, we're gonna keep the box. No, I do want to try to get one of these for my day date though, because it is a period correct box, and it is kind of just a fun thing to have with the watch. I know
we're gonna dive into the boxes and the different boxes of Rolexes very soon. Might be next episode.
Yeah, this is just a
This is a 136th. GT2 RS 991.
Yep. And we want one of those one day. So I bought that in line at Home Depot like a child would do.
Did I get that right?
And I spent way too much money.
Bro, I'm learning.
It's on the bottom. It should say
991.
991 GT2 RS. Yeah, I bought that in the checkout line at Lowe's, actually not Home Depot, because I want that car. So I'm going to put this in front of my face until I have it, you know?
Can you guys see that?
They might be able to see it. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Let's go to 200 subscribers. That'd be great.
Next week.
What?
200 subscribers next week.
Oh.
It's like the hockey stick. It's like,
yeah. Also, keep continuing to share because we continue to get new people that are like so-and-so shared it. And that's all that matters.
And where
people are sharing it.
Buy watches if you want to. Wear your watches.
Yep.
And we will see you next week for another epi of Normalize Talking About Watches. Hope you enjoyed episode 20.
There you go.
That'll do.
See ya.